Hello. Do you like doing things unconventionally? Do you like searching for 10 minutes straight to find the one thing that looks interesting? And most importantly, actually I forgot what my last question... Welcome back to more user missions. Since last time I've found even more missions to enjoy. If you haven't watched the previous videos and have no idea what I'm talking about, user missions are, as the name suggests, single or multiplayer missions created by players themselves using the Warthunder content development kit. You can download them for free on live.warthunder.com, and I did include a short tutorial in my first video of the series should you need it. Alright, without further ado, let's begin. We'll be starting with a heavy hitter. Literally, since this mission pack is 250 megabytes in size. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's in fact dozens of times the size of any other user mission. It's called Hot War, and to be honest with you, I had been aware of this pack's existence all the way back when I made my first user missions video. Unfortunately, its files were a mess and I had no idea how to reassemble it. It appears that issue has been fixed and it's playable now. So what exactly is this giant mission pack? Well, when you open it up, it somewhat resembles the historical campaigns with its large roster of missions for two different sides. But that is somewhat deceiving. Once you start your first mission, you'll realize that it is much closer to your classic/standard user mission experience. That is not to say it's bad. I did in fact have fun as I took care of the enemies without a hitch. However, after my initial success, the issues start to show up. First off, you're always playing on the same map. No variations here. The map itself is by no means bad. It seems to have been custom made for the World War III scenario the author has created, but it's also very plain. Secondly, you cannot repair or firefight during any of these missions. If you get damaged, well, that's that. Hope that it was just your optics or a machine gun, otherwise you're fucked. Oh, and thirdly, of course, to add salt to the wounds, there are no respawns whatsoever. If you die, that's a mission fail and you have to restart. To describe these missions, there was one comment I saw that did it best, comparing these to Gunner Heat PC skirmish battles. There is a little bit of a setup to these packs through some text, but you can completely ignore that and treat this as a dynamic campaign ground version or the Warthunder version of GHPC skirmish battles. As I previously said, the best way to experience these missions is to, in my opinion, pick and choose whichever vehicle interests you at a given moment, as you don't need to have any of them unlocked to play them. Also, it might have just been me, but when I swapped sides to try out the Russian vehicles, they just, felt tankier.
Where? Shot by something. What's Bradley? Go fuck yourself, man.
One, don't ever use the scout drone in any of these missions. It'll instantly crash the mission and return you to the main menu. Speaking of the classic user mission experience, how about the most standard mission of them all? Quite literally, as this mission is meant to be a sample mission on the official wiki page. You have two vehicles with which to play it, though the description implies that the Panzer II is the intended player vehicle. When you play these missions, you'll notice that in order to simplify everything for the newbie, some sacrifices were clearly made. Not sure if I can say they were good ones, because while no repairs, or respawns, or killable enemies, besides the AT turrets, those are neat. H-39s though, really? Why would you use them before the enemy, when the H-35 already exists to be an easy punching bag? I can't pen the H-39s! Well, and of course there's no ammo replenishment either. I know some observant folks may have noticed that the other tank we could play as was a Panzer III, something with a proper anti-tank cannon. Let me tell you, I tried. It did not help. Sure, it is definitely better than the Panzer II, but the Froggies really know how to make some good armor, apparently. In the end, it's not much better overall in terms of mission completion. I did complete one of the two objectives though, so good enough for me. Not every user mission has to be a steady experience where you take down enemies one after the other. Some allow you to experience vehicles that are not currently... what the hell? This thing has no defensive weaponry, which is accurate. In case you haven't recognized what it is yet, this is meant to be a B-52, though it's obviously unfinished, having no damage model. This user mission, in quotation marks, is not exactly a mission. One could consider it a showcase, but the vehicle has no utility besides some bombs that it can drop. As far as I can tell, the mission is just a way of giving you a download of the custom model so that you can use it yourself. And the mission is not meant to be anything more than a test drive of sorts. Presumably so the author could do bug testing when working on the model. Honestly, this is very much a real aspect of the user mission experience. Most of the time what you're downloading is probably not what you're expecting to get. Especially when the mission description looks like this. No, I have not in fact thought about bouncing planes in Warthunder, but sure, I am intrigued. The way I describe this mission is that it's an intentional mess. It seems that the player vehicle has been made invincible, though surprisingly you have infinite respawns in case you J out, so they even considered that. And there's a bunch of props that the physics engine really does not like you touching, resulting in this interaction. I'm not certain if the teleportation is always supposed to put you in the same place, but at least I can say that I've now been shown what a bouncing plane looks like in Warthunder. 10 out of 10 did not disappoint. I saved everybody's favorite game mode for last, and yes, of course, it is naval. Well, kinda, because you can't play these things in random matches. Unlike the previous wave survival mission that I played, this one is much more linear, though the objective is simple. The mission is not to be taken lightly, because being even slightly off course means you will not be able to launch your planes. And then if you end up launching them too late, well, let's just say the fury of the sun descends upon you. Unfortunately, your escort A is non-functional, so you're not getting any help from your escorts. And this means you really want to launch your planes and get away as soon as possible. That kinda makes your secondary objective impossible, or almost impossible. But hey, ignoring secondary objectives is basically part of the Warthunder single-player experience. Ultimately, however, despite my best efforts and multiple restarts, the closest I got was successfully launching my planes, but then sinking on the way back. Failing to launch even a single plane means you fail the objective and have to restart, so you need to make sure they all launch, one after the other, successfully, and don't crash. This simply puts you in far too much danger to survive. The combined enemy air and naval assault, mostly air to be honest, demolishes you very quickly right afterwards. But I do have a feeling I know the reason why this mission appears impossible, because you see this mission was released a few months before the Unrepairable Breaches update. The player ship would have been much tankier beforehand, but nowadays breaches means you will inevitably sink after taking 2 to 3 torpedoes with no way of saving yourself. Which is unfortunate, because otherwise this is a very cool mission. I haven't played something like this before, honestly, and I liked it. That's all the missions I packed into this video. If you wish to play any of them yourself, I will be leaving the links down in the pinned comments. Until the next video, goodbye.